Hey yo, and welcome to Craig's 2 Cents Tech Tips. Oh shit. Hey, how's it going, guys? Craig here, and I know it's been a while. I'm going to be doing a PC build since I haven't upgraded my PC since 2011, I think. So I haven't actually really ever built a PC before. This is going to be my first PC build. Get ready to watch me fuck up. So starting out, we have the Silent Base 801, the Be Quiet Silent Base 801. I looked at tons and tons of reviews for this thing. I wanted to make sure that I was really getting the exact type of thing that I wanted. I wanted plenty of space inside, just so I didn't have any issues with breathing room for the parts and cable management. It's a really nice, like, huge glass panel on the side, but unfortunately, it's on the wrong side, and you can invert this, but I'm very lazy, so I'm not gonna do that. So moving on to the motherboard, I have a Z390 Ultra Durable! It has 4 RAM slots and can fit my CPU. And it's a motherboard. I don't really know what else to say about it. I know most people tend to go with the Z390 Pro, but this was like £20 cheaper. So, save some money. It does what I need it to anyway. Inputs don't matter, because moving on to the graphics card. Oh my god, that was a sick segue. So the graphics card I have is a GTX 1080 Ti. It's the MSI Aero OC edition. From what I've read, the differences between it and like other 1080 Ti's, like Founders Editions and what's the other one people like, EVGA, is that it looks different and it apparently might run just slightly louder because it hasn't got a whole lot of ventilation. Like, there's just one fan here on the top and there's no backplate. But I mean, I'm not too worried about it. If it runs, it runs. Nothing can be as loud as my previous PC, so I'm not too worried. I'm kind of conditioned against noise. That's what the Silent Base is for. Oh, I guess we'll go on to the CPU since that's pretty important. It's a i7 6700K with the RAM. So I have 4 8GB sticks of DDR4 at 32 gigs of RAM. SATA data cables? I don't know why these are here. I think I lost one of those. Right. Hey, segue again. Oh, I'm getting so good at this. That segues into the SSDs and the hard drive. I'll put brands in description. I'll also put the brands on screen of exactly what they are. I've got a Samsung Evo. This one's the 120GB. So this is the boot drive, what I'm using for the boot drive. So it's basically just got a clean install of Windows and like the drivers I need for my stuff and like minimal software, just the stuff that I use on a daily basis that I know I'm always going to want. Then we have a Kingston 1TB SSD. So this is where I basically have my Steam library, so my Origin library, Steam library. I was going to say Uplay, but yeah, okay. This is a hard drive that I've had for a very long time. It's actually from my old PC. I have like health checked it and everything and error scanned it. I'm basically just using this for like media storage anyway, so videos, music, pictures, and that's basically it. Moving on to the CPU cooler, we have a Arctic Freezer 34 Esports Duo, and esports is for gamers, so it's gaming, so it's gonna be fucking amazing. Bet the box even has like built-in RGB. Oh. So yeah, that's a CPU cooler. I read reviews on it. It seems pretty good. It has a push-pull configuration, which means one fan goes this way, and another fan goes this way, and it basically just goes, go away, hot air. Finally, we have the power supply, which is a Corsair thingamajigger RM750X, 750 watt, gold certified. That's pretty cool. That was like a lot of money, so I hope it's good. It comes with like all the connectors you need, and that's got a floppy cable. Just one. We all gotta at least have one floppy in our lives, right? Alright, so that's everything. Oh, let's not forget the thermal paste. This is Arctic MX2 thermal compound. Alright, so without further ado, let's fucking build a PC! What was that? Oh, I was on my knees too long. Oh. Alright, I'm gonna level with you guys. I don't actually know what the best order to do things in is, so I figured the first thing we could do is install the power supply. Easiest thing to start with, maybe? Again, this is a learning experience. Let's take that little sticker off. Again, we just unscrew these. Yes, I think I need a screwdriver. 1 second. Never mind, that's the wrong way around. Lol. Yes, we want our fan pointing this way. I at least know that much. Is that it? Like that? Oh, hold up. There are some wires for like the I/O. That's what it's called, right? Like the USB ports and shit. So I think we have to actually plug these into our power supply. Uh-oh. Oh no, it's more complicated than I thought it would be. Alright, so HDD LED minus P LED and plus P LED. Well, I don't know what either of those mean. USB 2.0, I know what that means. It's a USB slot. Power SW. Power switch? Might be the power switch. And reset. Okay, yeah, so reset switch and power switch. Alright, so reset SW. This one isn't marked, but oh, here we go. It says PWM cable. Not entirely sure what that means, but we'll find a spot for it. HD audio. This is more than I bargained for. This is probably going to be relatively easy, right? I can't imagine this being too difficult. Let's take off that little twisty tie, and I guess start plugging these in to the power supply, I suppose? Again, I'm kind of winging it here. Oh, this goes into the motherboard. I'm stupid. Most of these go into the motherboard, of course. Yes, because I'm going to fit this in here. I'm a dumbass. So let's not worry about that then. Maybe we should put the motherboard on. I don't know. I've done it again. Oh my god. You know what? Maybe we should just put the motherboard on first. That's probably much better. Let's do that. Alright, so here is our motherboard. I should probably put the CPU in place first, I guess, just so it actually has somewhere to sit. So let's go ahead and do that. Do we pop this off manually or no? Well, it says remove. Install processor first, then remove and keep this cover. Well, I did that in the wrong order. Let's just hope that don't fuck me over too much. Said processor. Confident you'll have to match up the Aero in this corner with one on here. Oh, there we go. Got it. Alright. Where is the Aero? Found it down in that bottom left. I'm not putting like too much pressure, I'm just trying to... I think that's all good. I think that's good. This is putting a lot of pressure on to the CPU. It kind of worries me, but I guess it has to. Is that it? I think it's in place. Hey! Let's put our thermal paste on now and be adventurous. Let's not do that. Alright, so let's go ahead and pop this in the case. No idea what the fuck I'm doing. Where are my screws for this is the ultimate question. I don't know if it came with the motherboard. I don't see any screws, so I'm gonna hazard a guess that some of the screws that came with my case are actually those screws. I'm gonna take a wild guess that some of these are those screws. Alright, so it says there should be 12 of them, so I do think it's these ones. So fuck yeah, motherboard in place. Alright, so we should, I guess, pop this in place. Should I have done this the right... What am I doing? Oh, I'm so dumb. I should have put this on first. Can I cheat and somehow snap this into place? Oh man, take the fucking thing off now. Great. That was not worth the freaking hassle. Little did I know, so the risers to mount the motherboard on came off with the screws. Then I couldn't fucking get in. I couldn't get it because I had no like. That you could do so. It was like 20 minutes of me struggling like a complete and utter fucking scrub. Let's move on to, I guess, putting the wires for the I/O around back. I guess let's kind of bring them through these grommets and put them into place and everything and actually get started on this build. Fucking kill me. Alright, so I fed through the cables for the front panel and I think they're in the right place. Whether or not they're in the right order is a completely different question. I'm going to move on to the rest of the wiring back there and try and get that in the right place, and then I'll cut back. So as far as I can tell, I've pretty much got everything in the right place. This is kind of as neat as I could make it. I was looking for where the fuck to plug this for like a good 5 minutes before I realized this is probably to actually power the controller at the back. So I need to plug a SATA power cable from the power supply into this to power everything. Everything else is in the right place. So I'm gonna go ahead and now put the power supply in, plug some of this shit in. Never mind, that's not gonna work. We should definitely plug everything in before we mount it. Take two! Alright, so after a little bit of fiddling around, we have a SATA connection that's got the controller. You can actually mount 2 hard drives down here, so I'm actually gonna do that. That's gonna power those two. Then I have the main motherboard connections here, and that's connected up here. There's the USB 3.0s, USB 2.0s down there. Right in the corner, that's audio inputs and stuff like that. My next plan of attack is to mount the SSDs in there, get them hooked up, and then get them hooked up through the data cables as well, going into the motherboard. So I'll cut back when I've got that done. I got the SSDs mounted down here, got the power and data cables. I know I've got a lot going on in this bottom grommet, but it's just is the most convenient place for me to wire everything that's going through it at the moment. So now I just got to do the hard drive. I guess I'm just going to do it in this bottom cage here. So I'm going to go ahead and do my best to mount one of those cages and see how it comes out. Finally got the power supply hooked up to my two SSDs and my hard drive. I know it's not particularly pretty back here, but I will do my best to kind of sort it out. I did a test fit and the panel does fit, so we have got enough clearing to still put the panel on with all these wires. Next few things to do are going to be pretty easy. I'm probably going to slot the RAM in now and then put some thermal paste on, put on the CPU cooler, and I think that's it besides the graphics card. So yeah, let's go ahead and get those done. Oh god, it looks so fucking nice! Nice and uniform. Oh. Okay, here's where I'm gonna run into an issue. I don't know whether or not to put on the CPU cooler first or the graphics card, because I'm not sure if one's gonna get in the way of the installation of the other. To be honest, I think it's a slightly safer bet to put on the CPU cooler first. That way, if I get thermal paste everywhere, it doesn't go on my graphics card. Idiot proofing! Oh, hell yeah! This actually comes with Arctic MX4 thermal compound, and the stuff I have is only MX2, so this has got to be like twice as good. Oh, yeah! Warning, please peel off label before use it. That's just good advice for life. Alright, that took way longer than it had to. I think I got just the right amount of thermal paste. I sort of like triple checked it, made sure there wasn't any like excess going anywhere it shouldn't. Think I got the push-pull configured right. So yeah, I got the CPU fan on, and I think literally the last thing left, not figuratively, literally, is the graphics card. So let's go ahead and pop this fucker in, get it powered up, and yeah, I think we're good to go. The money shot. Oh yeah. Hang on. Boop. There we go. This isn't exactly pretty. Bend it down a little bit. It's fine. It's not that noticeable. Let's get this running through. I'm gonna go ahead and plug this into the power supply. So I'm going to go ahead and pop in the power supply and mount that real quick, and then we'll get the panels on. So this motherfucker's finally mounted and put on. Everything seems alright cable management wise. Alright, I'll clean up a little bit. So I'll go ahead and get this cleaned up, put on the back panel, we'll put on the front panel together, and then plug her in. Fucking excited! Alright, so I figured before I close her up, this is with the back panel on, And you know what? I'm kind of proud of myself. Looking pretty clean in there. I mean, there's a lot of space inherently with this case anyway, but I'm pretty proud of myself, to be honest. Let's get this fucking final panel popped on. Ah, we can be done. Oh. 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 Okay, got everything hooked up. I know it's not super clean over here right now. Definitely not underneath, but I am going to sort through all of this later. I just want to see if this baby powers on. Go ahead and flick that switch. Keyboard, monitor, all good. I have turned it on from the back. Let's see what happens. Oh! I can see a little light. Is it on? That's a no. Hold it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, that's not good. Alright, so take two. I have realigned some of the front panel pins, and hopefully we should get something out of it this time. This should all be good now. Oh my god. Ah! It's alive! Anything on screen? Oh. Uh-oh. It just died. It just died and came back to life.
10 seconds later.
What has two thumbs and forgot to plug their fucking CPU in? This guy! Ah! Okay, that's done. Let's really hope this is the end of the troubleshooting, because I don't want to do this anymore. Alright, if it doesn't turn off after like 5 seconds, then I fixed it. Oh, you bitch! After much experimentation, shall we say, I finally figured out what the issue was. And if it's not this, I don't fucking know, but it has to be. We're gonna find out. I'm pretty sure the issue is the CPU itself. I couldn't get anything out of this outside of starting it up. It resets after about 1 second, and then keeps boot looping or power looping like every 7 seconds or so. I did test out just the motherboard, bare bones, with basically the power supply, and it didn't do that, so I didn't get the same issue. So I figured it has to be the CPU. So I went out and got an i7-9700K. Hopefully this works, because if it doesn't, I'm gonna throw this whole fucking thing out the window. Without further ado, let's kick the suspense out and finally get this over with. That's finally fucking done. Got the display port and the power hooked up. Oh, right, yeah, plug. Herp derp. I'm not the smartest human being. Well, it's still on. There's just nothing on the screen. Oh no, it turned off. Please don't do this. Please, please. Okay. Alright, we have life, kind of. It's on, and I'm getting a video output, so we at least have a post, kind of, ish, right? I'm really hoping we can get some life out of this thing. Worst case scenario, I'll give it a few minutes, and if I don't see any progress, I'll reset it. I'm not going to call it a success until we're at the desktop, though. And we're on this monitor, not this thing. But, whew, it's a step forward. It fucking works. It boots up, so it's a step forward. It's a step in the right direction. I'm going to go ahead and do some troubleshooting and see what I can get out of this thing. Yeah, boy. Okay, the progress just stopped like the second I started recording. Yeah, look, the point is the machine is working. I just gotta sort out the software side of it. Sorry I keep, like, chiming in with oh.
1 week later.
Okay, so, let's explain what the hell is going on here. So, this has been like a very long project for me so far. I mean, this is like days later, it's like almost a week later. So this CPU that I got did not work. Now I managed to get to BIOS and I could get the installation to just about start. However, it kept freezing up. I couldn't get Windows to install at all through any method. I tried so many different methods of installing an OS on the system, and I just could not get anything out of it. Shout out to my friend Pedro, who did do a little bit of troubleshooting with me over Messenger, kind of helped me confirm my suspicions that it was probably the CPU. I borrowed a different CPU from my workplace, just like a mid-lower range i5, and that actually worked fine. I didn't get any recordings. I'll put a picture on screen that I sent to my friend Harry because I got really fucking excited. I managed to get to desktop. I got everything installed with that CPU, so that told me that I guess the CPU was bad. I mean, it's very rare that CPUs just go bad, right? I mean, am I that unlucky that I just got 2 bad CPUs in a row? I did a little bit of digging. From what I saw online, a few people suggested that running the motherboard I was running, the Gigabyte Z390 UD, I thought it would be relatively the same as like the higher end versions of the Z390, like the chipset and the way it's laid out and all that technical majuggins, but apparently it has some issues with higher end CPUs. Now I only read this on a couple different forums, but before I kind of go out of my way to try and get a replacement for this, I figured it would be worth a shot to just get a new motherboard and try it out and see if maybe the motherboard was just in some way holding back the CPU or wasn't compatible with it. So I picked up a much nicer motherboard. This is a Z390i Aorus Pro Wi-Fi. It's just basically the same board, but just a lot nicer. So I'm going to install this and see if we can get some life out of this build with this CPU. As some of you may have noticed, this is an M ATX board. I'll put on screen right now what I saw when I ordered it. Oh, this is the most frustrating thing I have ever done. Now I have to waste my time sending this back so I can get a board that I want. Honestly, when I first looked at it, I thought I was just misremembering the size of my board. I was like, that does look like kind of a tiny box, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just misremembering how big a regular fucking board is, but nope. Also, apologies for the shitty lighting during this entire segment because I don't feel like getting my studio lights back out because this has been, again, like I said, over a week-long project and I'm just getting frustrated at this point. I just want a PC. I just want to play some fucking games.
One eternity later.
Okay, this should be it. i7-9700K. This is not the one I had before. This is a factory sealed one. So I should not have any issues with this. Also picked up some slightly better thermal paste. Got some MX4 because why not? I gave up on getting a new motherboard because I looked through forums. I even contacted Gigabyte directly after reading quite a few forum posts. They were like, yeah, no, it should be fine. In fact, you shouldn't even have a problem overclocking it on our board, on the Z390 UD. So I'm going to go ahead and put this into my build. Hopefully we should just go straight to desktop and we shouldn't have any issues. So, alright, so that's finally in there. This seriously... Oh, you're fucking kidding me! It's upside down. It's okay, it's fixed, it's done. If I didn't fix that, it was really gonna annoy me. Okay, let's just go. I'm plugged in, I'm plugged in, I'm ready to go. Alright, I'm gonna put my phone down. There goes the light source. Oh, video looks like shit. What a fucking shame. Oh, we've got life. Anywhere? Please? Oh! Hey! Ah! Oh, fuck me! Oh, let's get into the desktop. Hold up. Let's not celebrate yet. Oh, the aspect ratio is actually really off. Oh, there you go. It fixed itself. Yes! Oh! Okay, finally. All right, let me just to ease my mind. Oh, do you see it? Yes, i7 9700K, 3.6 gigahertz. I may overclock it if I need to. I don't know. That'll be a whole separate thing. I've never overclocked anything before. 32 gigs of RAM. We're finally on the desktop. We're done. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and clean this setup, my little setup here. Go ahead and get it all neatened up and everything. I'll actually probably cut back to you guys in the morning when I've got a lot more light and stuff like that. And I'll show you guys kind of a little tour of my setup going on here. But yeah, holy fuck. Thank you so much for coming with me on this journey. We fucking made it, boys. Yeah! Anyway, I'll actually cut back to you guys in the morning and then I'll do an outro once I show you guys my setup going here. So for now, I'm gonna go ahead and play some Overwatch. Good night. I don't have decent enough equipment to get like really good shots. Yeah, it's not the cleanest setup and it's kind of jank, but I only have a limited amount of space to work with, so I did the best with what I had, I guess. Really fucking happy with how it turned out back there, honestly. I know this probably wasn't the most technical build video in the world, but I just thought maybe I'd document a complete and utter noob like myself building his first PC. Thank you for watching, I really appreciate it, and I'll see you on my next video. Take care.